Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Rusty McCranie and welcome to Weather Express. It's your weather in 5 minutes. Start the clock. Friends, we are going to see two high-end severe weather event days for our weekend. Today, your biggest risk is going to be through portions of the southeast and into the Tennessee Valley, especially that area in orange. That's the enhanced risk from the Storm Prediction Center, or a 3 out of 5 on their scale. It includes northern Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, the southern sides of Tennessee, including Atlanta, Georgia, Birmingham, and Huntsville, Alabama. Now, you notice the Storm Prediction Center has already put some mesoscale discussions for severe potential, meaning that those are the areas that they expect the first initiation of storms. We have a slight risk from the Dallas-Fort Worth area all the way to I-95, coastal Virginia, and the Carolinas. Here's what's going on right now. Put the current radar into motion. All of the red polygons that you see are severe thunderstorms. So the first line is beginning to drive towards I-65 from Nashville back down towards Birmingham. That's going to be a wind threat more than anything else, but there will be additional severe storms developing, and especially on the south end of this, the opportunity for an isolated tornado as well. At this point in time, looking at the watches that are into play, you're going to see a couple of severe thunderstorm watches. So thankfully right now, no tornado watches, but that severe thunderstorm watch with Australian winds could be 75-mile-an-hour winds or greater in some spots, and 1.5 inch size hail. And again, these storms will push off to the east the remainder of the day. We'll take a look at that coming up in just a bit. Now, thunderstorms will continue to develop behind this as well. We just have a little bit of light rain over portions of Oklahoma and the northern sides of Texas, but eventually those storms will be a little bit stronger as well. To the northeast we go. We have some really heavy rain through the northeast and especially into New England. Rain in New York City towards Hartford and Boston, Portland, Maine, right back down the eastern seaboard, Newark, Philadelphia. Again, a lot of moisture coming in with that non-tropical low off the eastern seaboard to provide a wet forecast there. Obviously, the storms bring some cooler weather into northern Georgia and the Carolinas. Eventually, south of that, isolated storms in Florida. Very hot day there. Again, we will get some thunderstorms to redevelop here later in the afternoon hours, coming off of the Intermountain West. Again, that risk in this area. There's one for the kind of northern panhandle of Texas, and then you just have your marginal risk of storms as well. But again, a few isolated could be an issue there. Now, the interesting thing out west is the biggest story is the heat. You don't really see it on the map right now because it's a little bit early, but portions of Washington State and Oregon could have daytime highs over the weekend in the mid and the upper 90s, and even some areas with triple-digit heat. That's actually the big story right there. If I go back into these areas, all of these areas in interior Washington and along the I-5 corridor of the Washington, Portland, Oregon area, you're going to have, again, 92 to 96 degree temperatures, and even inland into the eastern sides of Washington State, these heat advisories are going to be for up to 101 degrees. Pretty incredible heat in those areas. I'm also concerned about some of the heavier flooding in portions of the southern plains as well. Let's get into the forecast. Bring up the HERB model, your high resolution rapid refresh. Appreciate you guys giving me a quick like. Now look, these storms are going to be swinging back into the Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley. So, drier today, but eventually places like Columbus and Detroit and Pittsburgh will get on into the act. We're still going to see a few showers in the Northeast, but it'll be drier on our Sunday compared to today. The first push of severe storms, again, will work their way towards I-95, but we're going to get a secondary push of storms here with an even higher risk for severe storms for tomorrow. So again, here's how the rest of this Saturday plays out. Watch these storms drive all the way north into Illinois, Indiana. Now, the storms won't be that severe in the Ohio Valley and the upper Midwest, but the storms will become more prolific. Again, Virginia, the Carolinas, and eventually even into the southern sides of Georgia, Mississippi, and Alabama. Tomorrow on our Sunday, look at the storms develop in northwest Oklahoma and drive to the south and to the east. These storms could be high and severe with 4-inch plus size hail. And on the southern side of this, the opportunity, we call those storms tail end Charlies on the end of that line for some strong rotation and some tornadic activity. Severe storms could also be over portions of Missouri on Sunday as well, with some moderate rain extending in through portions of the western Great Lakes. So overall, the risk for severe storms for your Sunday: It's a moderate risk, or a 4 out of 5. 4 portions of Oklahoma, a huge enhanced risk, including Oklahoma City, Amarillo, Lubbock, and Dallas. There's your slight risk that goes through Missouri, and your secondary slight risk across the I-95 corridor from Georgia up to the Carolinas, even the Delmarva Peninsula. And then the risk overall for your Monday will be a slight one for a lot of the southeast, beginning to quiet out a bit in the southern plains. Additional strong to severe storms in the Ohio Valley and the western side of the northeast. Quieter weather here in the northern and the central plains. Rainfall totals, as I've mentioned, will also be a big story here. Flooding could be a huge threat. Take a look at some of these totals here. Again, if you live in southern sides of Oklahoma or northern Texas, potentially 6 to 10 inches of rain could fall. That's a lot of heavy rain, friends. Flooding, a huge concern. North Texas, South Oklahoma, and portions of Louisiana and Mississippi. I'm out of time. Appreciate you making Weather Express a part of your daily routine. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. Really helped us support the channel in that way. You guys have a great rest of your day. And I'm back tomorrow with your latest 5-minute forecast.